Did you know China builds a skyscraper every 5 days? Or that there's a city with more billionaires than New York? From a train that floats on magnets to a bridge so long it disappears into the sea, China isn't just another country, it's a world of its own. These 15 facts will change the way you see Asia's most powerful nation. If you're fascinated by culture, speed, and jaw-dropping innovation, don't just stop here. Hit that like button to support more amazing content like this and stick around till the very end, because fact number 1 will blow your mind. Trust us, you don't want to miss it. And if you're curious why China is called the most unique country in Asia, this video will give you the answer. Number 15. A giant at the heart of Asia. China, spanning nearly 9.6 million square kilometers, ranks as the third largest country in the world. But size is just the beginning of its global significance. With 14 neighboring countries, including Russia, India, Vietnam, and North Korea, China has the second highest number of land borders globally, only behind Russia. This prime location has transformed China into a geopolitical crossroads, a nerve center of trade, diplomacy, and infrastructure that connects East Asia with the rest of the world. Even more fascinating, despite covering 5 natural time zones, the entire country officially operates on a single standard, Beijing time, UTC +8. As a result, in western regions like Xinjiang, the sun might not rise until after 10 a.m., while the eastern coast has already finished lunch. The geographic contrasts are equally astonishing. From lush alluvial plains in the east to the towering Tibetan Plateau in the west, from the bone-dry Gobi Desert in the north to humid tropical forests in the south, the diversity feels almost extraterrestrial. Climate-wise, China has it all. Temperate monsoons in Beijing, tropical heat in Hainan, desert dryness in Xinjiang, and year-round snow in Tibet. Imagine skiing in the morning and swimming by afternoon, all within one nation. And with over 1.44 billion people, accounting for 20% of the global population, China isn't just vast in land, it's vast in humanity. While 90% of its citizens are Han Chinese, the country also celebrates 55 ethnic minorities, forming a vibrant cultural mosaic. Though Mandarin is the official language, more than 300 dialects and regional languages echo across its vast landscape, proving that China is not just a nation, but a living, breathing cultural continent. Number 14. The grace and power of Chinese women. Often admired as the benchmark of East Asian beauty, Chinese women exemplify a rare harmony of elegance and strength. With fair, smooth skin, delicate facial features, bright eyes, and graceful posture, their physical beauty is only part of the story. What makes them truly remarkable is their dual identity, rooted deeply in tradition while rising boldly in modernity, grounded in values like respect for elders, gentleness in demeanor, and a strong sense of family. Many Chinese women today are also reshaping global perceptions with their intellect, ambition, and economic leadership. In fact, a 2023 report by the Harun Research Institute revealed that 63% of the world's self-made female billionaires come from China, outpacing both the United States and Europe combined. These are women leading Fortune 500 companies, founding tech startups, and making groundbreaking academic contributions. In relationships, Chinese women often approach love with thoughtfulness and subtlety. They value trust, loyalty, and meaningful communication over superficial attraction. Once committed, they nurture with small but powerful gestures of care, and they're not afraid to draw healthy boundaries. And here's something that may surprise you. Many highly educated and independent Chinese women are increasingly open to relationships with foreign men, whom they often see as respectful, communicative, and emotionally mature. These cross-cultural connections are flourishing, not just on dating platforms, but in universities, multinational companies, and global summits. The modern Chinese woman stands as a symbol of East meeting West, tradition meeting ambition. So what do you think defines real beauty and strength in a woman today? Number 13. China invented toilet paper, and much more than you think. When we talk about revolutionary inventions that shaped civilization, most people think of the printing press or the light bulb. But few realize that China gave the world not just one, but several groundbreaking innovations, including something as everyday as toilet paper. It all began in 105 AD, when Kai Lun, a court official of the Han Dynasty, invented paper using a mix of tree bark, discarded rags, and old fishing nets. This lightweight, affordable alternative to bamboo slips and silk changed how knowledge was stored and spread, making written communication more accessible than ever before. Europe wouldn't catch up with papermaking until the 1100s, over 1,000 years later, and that's just the beginning. During the Tang Dynasty, Taoist alchemists in search of immortality accidentally created something entirely different: gunpowder. Their experiments with sulfur, charcoal, and saltpeter resulted in a fiery powder that would first dazzle festivals with fireworks and later reshape global warfare forever. But perhaps the most quietly transformative invention was the compass. As early as the 11th century, Chinese scientists realized that a lodestone spoon placed on a bronze plate would always point south, revolutionizing navigation. Without it, would Columbus have dared sail into the unknown? China didn't stop there. In the 7th century, woodblock printing made mass publication possible, and by the 11th century, Bai Sheng, a commoner, developed movable type from baked clay. While Europeans were still painstakingly copying manuscripts by hand, China was printing thousands of books daily. In a world now dominated by digital media, it's easy to forget that centuries ago, China laid the very foundation of global communication. Which invention shocks you the most? Or which one do you think shaped our modern world the most? Drop a comment with the number 13. We'd love to know. Number 12. The world's leading tea empire. Over 40% of the world's tea comes from one place: China. More than just a beverage, tea in China is a way of life, woven into family traditions, religious rites, diplomatic gatherings, and even philosophies of balance and harmony. But what makes China the undisputed leader of the tea world isn't just scale, it's the perfection of nature. Towering mountains, high humidity, and frequent mists combine to create the perfect climate for tea cultivation. Regions like Fujian, Yunnan, and Zhejiang grow tea from elevations of a few hundred to several thousand meters, producing leaves with flavors as distinct as the terrain itself. From the light, grassy notes of Hangzhou's famous Longjing wine tea to the rich floral tones of Tieguanyin oolong and the earthy depth of pu'er, aged like fine wine, Chinese tea showcases an unmatched spectrum of taste and tradition. But one story stands out for its sheer mystique: virgin tea. Legend has it that only untouched maidens were allowed to pluck this sacred leaf, using their lips rather than hands, placing each one onto golden trays to avoid contaminating its purity. While this tale may seem mythic, it highlights how deeply tea has been revered in Chinese culture, not just as a drink, but as a sacred symbol of power, virtue, and ritual. In an age of instant coffee and bottled drinks, China reminds us that tea isn't just consumed, it's honored. Next time you sip a cup, remember the empire that made it possible. Number 11. China has built a digital world all its own. Travelers who arrive in China often experience an unexpected digital silence, not because their phones are malfunctioning, but because the digital giants they're used to simply don't exist here. In place of Google, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube stands the towering Great Firewall, a sweeping national internet control mechanism that blocks access to many international platforms. This complex system, often dubbed the Digital Great Wall, is part of China's strategy to assert digital sovereignty, control information flow, and safeguard domestic data. To access blocked sites, most visitors rely on VPNs. But for over 1.4 billion citizens, life online is anything but limited. Enter WeChat, China's all-in-one super app. More than just a messaging tool, it's a social network, mobile wallet, booking service, shopping hub, and even a tax portal. In fact, locals often joke that misplacing your wallet is fine, but lose WeChat and you lose your life. Meanwhile, Weibo takes the role of an open social media platform, blending features of X and Instagram into a space where celebrities, influencers, government voices, and everyday citizens engage in a uniquely Chinese digital discourse. And then there's Baidu, the search engine titan, replacing Google, offering not only search but also AI, cloud services, and even autonomous driving tech. Together, these platforms form a self-reliant digital ecosystem that powers the modern Chinese internet experience. In an age where global tech giants dominate most countries, China's digital independence poses a striking question for the rest of us. Could you live a week without Google or YouTube? Comment 7 if you're brave enough to try. Number 10. China is a living museum where time periods collide. Few places on Earth offer the architectural time travel experience that China does. Hop on a subway in Beijing, and you could move from ancient dynasties to sci-fi futures in mere minutes. Begin in the heart of the capital with the Forbidden City, the largest imperial palace complex in the world, with over 980 buildings constructed entirely without nails. Every crimson wall, golden roof tile, and intricately carved dragon motif embodies centuries of cultural philosophy and the architectural mastery of the Ming and Qing dynasties. Yet just a few hundred miles away, the skyline of Shanghai thrusts you forward into the future. The Shanghai Tower, standing 632 meters tall, is not just China's tallest building, but the third tallest globally, spiraling skyward in a graceful twist that integrates green tech and sustainable design. Move beyond skyscrapers,
meters,
and you'll
which
find
once held
marvels
the world
like the
record for
Zhangjiajie
length.
Glass Bridge,
Or the pinnacle.
430-meter long
Zhangjiajie,
see-through span
home to a hanging
suspended
glass
between
bridge
mountain peaks,
stretching 4.
or even structures constructed entirely by 3D printers in less than 24 hours. But China isn't just reacting to the future, it's building it. In Xionghan, a fully planned smart city is rising, powered by AI, renewable energy, and cloud infrastructure, redefining what urban life can look like. This harmonious blend of past, present, and tomorrow turns China into an architectural time capsule that constantly reinvents itself while never forgetting its roots. In a world that often chooses between preservation or progress, China dares to do both and invites us to reflect on what kind of cities we want to build for the future. Would you rather live above ancient imperial halls or inside a city run by artificial intelligence?
But perhaps most intriguing.
Number 9. A parallel world of brands. $10 iPhones, $20 Chanel bags. Nowhere else in the world does imitation reach such staggering scale and finesse as it does in China. In cities like Shenzhen and Yiwu, epicenters of global manufacturing, you'll encounter a surreal marketplace where luxury is shockingly affordable. Picture this: an iPhone for $10, a pair of Nike sneakers for $15, or a Chanel handbag for just $20. These prices aren't typos. They're the reality in China's vast counterfeit economy, where goods often sell
China's
for less than
replication
10%
efforts don't just stop
of their
at
original
small
price.
consumer goods.
Yiwu, in particular, has earned global notoriety as the largest wholesale hub of fake goods, a city often described as the supermarket of the counterfeit world. Here, entire shopping districts are dedicated to imitation products, some so expertly crafted that even trained eyes can be fooled. There are whole zones specializing in grade-A fakes, knockoffs so meticulously produced that they replicate stitching patterns, packaging, holograms, and even serial numbers. These aren't just cheap copies. They are sophisticated counter-creations. But the culture of replication doesn't stop at handbags and headphones. China has taken imitation to an architectural scale, recreating full-scale versions of world-famous landmarks. In Tianjin, you'll find a towering replica of the Eiffel Tower. In Shenzhen, entire neighborhoods are modeled after the canals of Venice and the cobblestone charm of a European village. There's even a full-scale reproduction of Austria's Hallstatt, down to the last rooftop. These surreal duplicates serve a booming domestic tourism market, attracting millions who dream of Paris or London, but find it recreated at home. Meanwhile, global brands continue to face the clever mockery of names like Adibos, Mayon, and Dolce & Banana, sound-alikes that walk a razor-thin line between parody and plagiarism. At first glance, these items look indistinguishable from the originals, until you spot a letter off or a logo just slightly skewed. Yet despite legal battles and global scrutiny, the market thrives. Why? Because for many, these counterfeits offer access, identity, and style in a fast-paced consumer world. From a $10 smartphone to a cloned European cityscape, China's replica industry raises profound questions about value, authenticity, and global consumerism. What does it mean to own the real thing anymore? When the imitation is convincing enough to fool even the experts, And in a country where innovation often walks hand in hand with imitation, is copying simply another form of creativity? Number 8. Life beneath the earth. China's 4,000-year-old underground village. Far from the neon skylines of Beijing or Shanghai lies a different kind of wonder, one that lives not in the clouds but beneath the soil. Welcome to Sanmenxia, in Hainan Province, where an entire village exists beneath the surface. For more than 4,000 years, people here have dwelled in yaodongs, ingenious underground homes
This is
that
Sanmenxia
blend
Village,
environmental
where
harmony
unique
with
pit
architectural
dwellings,
brilliance.
known as Yao.
At first glance, the landscape appears empty. No rooftops, no buildings, no sign of human activity. But descend just 6 or 7 meters underground, and a living world emerges. Sunken courtyards, arched passageways, cool stone walls, and clusters of rooms where generations have lived, cooked, studied, and prayed. These pit dwellings are built in perfect squares, often measuring 10 to 12 meters per side, with a central courtyard serving as the heart of the home. Tunnels slope gently down from the surface, leading into cozy, earth-walled living chambers that remain untouched by the harshness of winter or the swelter of summer. What's more astounding is the engineering behind it all. These subterranean homes feature expertly designed drainage systems that deflect rain and floods with minimal disruption. And building one is no small feat. It often takes 2 to 3 years of labor, carved patiently by hand, stone by stone, by families who pass down their skills through generations. But these homes offer more than just protection. They provide a masterclass in sustainability, naturally insulated by the earth. They require no air conditioning in summer and no heating in winter. Built entirely from local soil and stone, they emit virtually zero carbon and cost a fraction of what modern urban housing demands. Sanmenxia isn't just a place. It's a living testimony to human adaptability, ingenuity, and the timeless value of living in balance with nature. Number 7, a shadowy industry that trains you to steal hearts. In a cultural twist that's both shocking and strangely systematic, China has become home to a clandestine industry offering courses on how to seduce married men. These secretive classes, some with fees reaching up to 4,000 USD, equip women with a toolkit of psychological tactics, charm techniques, and persuasive communication strategies, all designed to lure husbands away from their spouses. The instructors, often seasoned third parties themselves, self-styled as experts in emotional manipulation and discreet relationship maintenance. Some courses reportedly go as far as offering practical exercises, training attendees on how to sustain an affair without arousing suspicion while keeping the man emotionally dependent. But in a remarkable counterbalance, a contrasting profession has quietly emerged, one that's focused not on destruction, but on restoration. Lawyers and psychologists now offer high-end consultancy services that help these so-called mistresses walk away. These experts guide clients through the emotional, legal, and moral consequences of their actions, all while confronting the social stigma that shadows their involvement. Such breakup intervention services can cost as much as 100,000 CNY, around 14,000 USD. In this dual reality, China presents a strange dichotomy. One side monetizes intrusion into marriages, while the other offers redemption and exit strategies. It's a stark reflection of modern ethical complexity, where love, legality, and money collide in astonishing ways. Number 6. In China, even beggars take QR code. Donations. Forget coins and paper bills. China is blazing a digital trail so fast, even its most marginalized citizens have adapted. Across the country, beggars are no longer holding out cups. They're holding up QR codes. Whether on city sidewalks or in the shadow of skyscrapers, these digital codes printed on cardboard signs let passersby scan and instantly transfer money via mobile apps. This isn't an isolated urban phenomenon. It's a nationwide transformation. From luxury malls to roadside fruit stalls, every vendor, driver, and farmer now lives by one golden rule: scan to pay. And if that seems futuristic, just wait until you encounter Smile to Pay, a facial recognition system that lets you complete transactions with nothing more than your face. Stand in front of the camera, grin, and the system links your identity to your bank account in seconds. No cash, no cards, not even a phone is necessary. It's innovation at its finest. But for tourists, it's often innovation overload. Since most Chinese vendors don't accept foreign credit cards and mobile payment systems like Alipay and WeChat Pay require local bank accounts, visitors can quickly feel lost in a cashless maze. So if you're planning a trip to the world's most digitally advanced society, mastering mobile payments isn't optional, it's essential. Number 5. Marriage traditions that defy convention. In the vast cultural tapestry of China, some ethnic communities have practiced forms of courtship and marriage that are nothing short of astonishing. Among certain Tibetan groups in the past, a bride's journey to matrimony was guided not by arranged unions or fleeting romance, but by what was known as trial sleep. This ancient custom allowed a woman to engage intimately with several men, sometimes as many as 20, before making her final choice. Each encounter was marked by a keepsake, a symbolic token she would collect. The man she ultimately selected was deemed the most compatible based on health, fertility, and emotional connection. Though this tradition has faded with time and modernization, it remains a compelling window into how community, practicality, and personal choice once intersected in the highlands of Tibet. Equally fascinating is the way the Mosuo people of Yunnan province have approached relationships for centuries. Rather than formal marriages, Mosuo women practice what is known as a walking marriage. Here, love is expressed through nightly visits. Men quietly come and go without vows, ceremonies, or legal bonds. Children born from these unions belong to the mother's family, bearing her surname, and are raised within the matrilineal household. Far from scandalous, this form of relationship is deeply respected in Mosuo culture, illustrating a radically different, yet harmonious, social structure. Adding yet another layer to China's marital mosaic is the annual Raoseng Ling Festival, among the Bai ethnic group, also in Yunnan. For 3 days each year, married individuals are allowed to meet with former lovers, not to betray, but to honor past love, to reconcile old emotions, and perhaps to challenge traditions of forced marriage that once restricted personal freedom. In a world where relationships are often rigidly defined, these customs remind us that love, identity, and connection take many forms, and sometimes letting go is its own sacred right. Number 4. China's timeless marvels. While the world often looks to China for its rapid rise and dazzling skylines, the soul of the country is etched into landscapes that seem untouched by time. The Great Wall, one of humanity's most monumental feats, stretches over 21,000 kilometers across rugged terrain, silently narrating the perseverance of ancient dynasties. Though it's a common myth that the wall is visible from the moon, it is indeed observable from low Earth orbit, still an awe-inspiring achievement. Incredibly, some of its oldest sections were fortified using a mix of lime and sticky rice, an ancient innovation that has stood resilient for centuries. Further west, nestled at 3,700 meters above sea level, in the heart of the Himalayas, the Potala Palace in Lhasa rises like a divine flame against the sky. With over 1,000 rooms, this former home of the Dalai Lamas is more than a structure. It is a testament to Tibetan spirituality, artistry, and devotion. Every corridor echoes with prayer, and every wall is adorned with sacred imagery that has watched over generations of seekers. The palace is not only a religious treasure, but also a living museum of Himalayan civilization. And in the southwest lies Lijiang Old Town, nicknamed the Venice of the East, where stone pathways wind through ancient wooden buildings, crisscrossed by canals that reflect the light of centuries past. Recognized by UNESCO as a World Cultural Heritage Site, Lijiang preserves the elegance of the Naxi ethnic group's architecture and their melodic dongjing music, often performed in tea houses that line the quiet streams. It's a place where time slows, where each cobblestone whispers a tale, and where the past and present seem to dance in peaceful harmony. Number 3. Traditional festivals in China. To witness China in its most vibrant and heartfelt form, there is no better window than its traditional festivals, where ancient customs meet modern vitality. Among these, the Lunar New Year reigns as the grandest celebration. Cities transform into glowing red oceans of lanterns, families reunite over lavish meals, and firecrackers ignite the skies in a thunderous welcome to a fresh beginning. What may astonish travelers is that this isn't just a 2 or 3 day affair. The Lunar New Year can stretch across an entire 30-day period, featuring lion dances, gift-giving through red envelopes, and immense cross-country travel that causes the world's largest annual human migration. A particularly meaningful tradition is first footing, the belief that the first visitor to enter a home after midnight will determine that family's fortune for the year ahead. Meanwhile, the Mid-Autumn Festival, held on the 15th day of the 8th lunar month, is a celebration of reunion and gratitude. Families gather beneath the full moon to savor mooncakes, pastries rich in symbolism, and send glowing lanterns into the night sky carrying whispered prayers for peace. Just as the new year opens with hope, it closes in splendor with the Lantern Festival, where dazzling red lanterns blanket every street, alley, and riverbank. People come together to solve riddles, enjoy sweet tangyuan rice balls, and release lanterns that float upward like dreams rising toward the heavens. These festivals are not merely traditions. They are the soul of a nation echoing through time. In an age of growing isolation, perhaps the greatest lesson here is the power of shared joy, collective memory, and the beauty of pausing to celebrate life together. Number 2. The 4 great schools of Chinese cuisine. In a country of over 1.4 billion people, food is not just sustenance. It's philosophy, heritage, and art. Chinese cuisine is defined by its 4 great culinary traditions: Sichuan, Cantonese, Jiangsu, and Shandong, each a unique world of flavors, reflecting regional history and taste. If you crave intensity, Sichuan cuisine delivers with its signature numbing spice, created by fiery chilies and tongue-tingling Sichuan peppercorns. Dishes like spicy hot pot or stir-fried delights are not for the faint of heart, but are beloved for their unforgettable punch. On the gentler side, Cantonese cuisine focuses on freshness and restraint. Delicate creations like dim sum, tiny steam buns, shrimp dumplings, and rice rolls are served in bamboo baskets with artistic precision. Jiangsu cuisine, by contrast, impresses with its refined elegance, blending subtle sweetness with visually stunning dishes such as steamed fish or soft pork buns, often presented like edible works of art. Lastly, Shandong cuisine is hearty and rich, famous for its broths, braised meats, and seafood staples. Think crispy pan-fried buns and nourishing stews that warm the body and soul. Together, these traditions form a tapestry of taste as diverse as the country itself. In today's fast-paced world of fast food and fusion trends, China's culinary legacy offers a powerful reminder. True nourishment is found not just in flavor but in history, care, and cultural depth. So, what kind of eater are you? Do you favor the bold heat of Sichuan or the gentle grace of Jiangsu? Drop your thoughts in the comments and keep discovering what makes China the most unique country in Asia. Number 1. The cost of living in China. China offers a remarkable contrast in lifestyle affordability, depending on where you plant your roots. In global metropolises like Beijing or Shanghai, renting a modest one-bedroom apartment typically costs between $600 and $900 per month, standard by international standards. But venture into smaller provincial towns or inland cities, and you'll find the same type of housing at a fraction of the price, ranging from $150 to $350 monthly. This stark difference makes China a haven for budget travelers and expats seeking an authentic local experience without breaking the bank. Food expenses also follow this cost-effective trend. If you're someone who enjoys preparing meals at home, expect to spend just $230 to $280 each month on groceries. But if street food is more your style, China won't disappoint. You can indulge in flavorful local dishes at roadside eateries for as little as $3 to $7 per meal. Fresh, satisfying, and unmistakably Chinese. Getting around is just as affordable. Major cities boast well-developed subway systems and bus routes, and a typical monthly transport pass costs only $15 to $20. For those committed to health and wellness, monthly gym memberships are reasonably priced too, between $30 and $50, granting access to modern facilities and professional support. Overall, your monthly expenses in China can range from $880 to $1,180, depending on lifestyle choices and location. This affordability, coupled with access to modern infrastructure and cultural richness, makes China not just a destination, but a dynamic and livable adventure. So, would you consider living in China given these surprisingly affordable costs? Or have you already experienced life there, maybe in a big city or a quiet countryside town? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story. If you enjoyed this glimpse into the real cost of life in one of the world's most fascinating countries, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more eye-opening travel insights, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode of our global journey. The adventure is just beginning.